right, guys, Father Time, and what has been a very frustrating morning for me. Today is December 4th, and I've been trying to get the 787-10 from Queenstown, from Christchurch to Queenstown in New Zealand. But I'm getting all sorts of problems. One time it's GSX and not working, getting me all bound up, and then another time it's walk right through this guy. Another time it's something that says gear, which is not a SIM malfunction. It's actually nothing wrong with the 787. It's something going on with the ASOBO. But anyway, let's go in here, hop in the airplane. I did a little video this morning about a couple of things. Go on in, and we'll get it started. Flying with Amanda today. Amanda cannot stand me. I'm going to prove it to you. You've seen that body language before, right? From your husband or your wife, right? Yep. Good morning, Amanda.
Hello, Captain. We are ready
Evening,
for
Captain.
pushback.
Passenger's bus is coming.
How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Let's focus on the flight.
Yeah, yep. She's a consummate professional. It's almost embarrassing to fly with her. All right, let's check our fire bottle pressures, our walk-around bottle, because she's so professional. I mean, windows are closed, escape ropes are there, cockpit safety inspection before they start bringing people on board. We got the brakes are set, fuel levers are off, throttle's idle, reversers are down, spoiler levers down, flaps up, gear handles down. Hopefully that won't give us any problems today.
Departure checks completed.
This is safety inspections, guys. I used to fly a 777, so it's pretty much the same checklist. Wipers are off.
Passengers boarding starting.
And the fuel dump is deactivated. Batteries on. Got some external power. Throw that on. Not going to do a fire test, but we'll get that APU started for these people. We'll get the packs in auto so that they're ready to go when they come. Get the IRUs on. I'm going to do this pretty quickly here, guys. And we're going to come down here. 787 database is outdated, actually. Let's bring that up. There we go. Positioning it. We'll get the GPS coordinates in there. NZCH is Christchurch, going to Queenstown, which is NZQN. Why do I bring that up? Because there it is. It's blank, right? You can all see that. I'm going to go to SimBrief. I'm going to go to the EFB, rather. I'm sorry. And I'm going to disconnect that, bring it so I can bring it over in front of you. And I am going to come down here to SimBrief, which I set up on a previous video. Home, subscription, all signed in, new flight, create a new flight plan, view the latest flight plan, recent flights. See this one? And we'll let it populate here. Okay, there it's populated. I'm going to import the route. And while that's importing, let me see here. Get that off to the side. While that's importing, I'm going to, there it is. I'll check it out first. Yep, goes all the way to Ababu. I'm going to execute it. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to go to departure arrival index. We're going to go to ATSAC runway 20.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Departure arrival, NZQN. We're going to do RNAV Foxtrot off Ababu. And that's in there. I'm going to go to index. And I'm going to go settings, weight and balance. Don't bother with cargo because zero fuel weight includes all that. Zero fuel weight. You can tell by my voice I'm a little discouraged. 352, 150. 352, 150. 352, 150. Yeah, with the GSX the first time, completely locked the flight up. Second time I couldn't taxi the aircraft. You see the fuel, it's 100.1 with 33 in the center. So that's way too much. So we're going to put in our fuel, 24086. 24086.
Starting.
Put that in, and voila, there it is. Center tank is empty here. And all looks good. Return. Net. Perf. Zero fuel weight. 352.2. Is that what it was? Zero fuel weight. What's nice is you can keep this right here the whole time. 352.2. Sounds like they're boarding back there.
May I see your boarding pass?
Reserves plus alternate. Reserves
Hello?
4.4. Alternate, so that's 11.2. Reserve plus alternate.
May I see your boarding
11.2.
pass, please? This way, please. This way, please.
Hate to rush through it, guys, but
American 789, descend and maintain flight level 270.
Descending to flight level 270, American 789.
This way.
Cessna 402.
there we go.
Papa Echo
Made that look
maintain
easy, huh?
8500, traffic 2 o'clock 5
Refueling
miles.
truck is on its way.
Maintaining 8500, looking
Fueling
for
truck's on its way. That's not good.
Papa Echo.
Cost index 30.
Good evening. Welcome on board.
Since we already put that in there. And thrust limits. Two way to get the takeoff data, guys. We can go to the EFB over here.
Good evening.
Right? We can initialize the flight.
Good evening. Good evening.
Performance. There it is. Christchurch. Condition,
Catering
wind.
vehicles are on their way.
This way.
Copy the FMC data. Temperature's 18.
Good evening.
Wind is 200 at 10. And a lion, to be honest with you. Thrust rating.
May I see your boarding pass?
Optimum.
Fuel truck is in position.
Flaps 5. Yeah, we'll just have to do that. I'll fix that in a second. Air conditioning situations, auto,
Hello?
off
May I see
rather,
your boarding
and
pass,
this is all good. Good.
please? Hello?
So optimum
Passengers
condition
bus
dry.
is coming.
Once you get that, there's calculate, and you're good to go. It's going to be curious to see how these performance calculators come out. So this came up with TO2 and a suck temp of 58. Let's try this one. Perf. And we'll see how this one comes out. Okay, so we got an NZCH runway 20. Takeoff length, feet, pounds. Make sure you get that all right. 375, 136. And the takeoff data is for takeoff weight 275, 136.
Hello?
And it's thinking about it over there. I'm not sure why, but we'll come back. Meanwhile, I've loaded up the box for the other. So let's take the index. We'll do our little check here. Where it's 787-10 Trents, which are the Rolls Royces. The database is correct. Position and NIT. Knows we're at Christchurch.
Welcome on board.
IRS is initialized. Route.
Hello?
Got Christchurch. We're Air New Zealand
Good evening.
123.
Hello?
And that looks good. XAC 1 Quebec Guppet 266 Upix, and that's all good. Calculate.
Hello? This way.
And with the flight plan all calculating over there, all down to Nbox, misapproach, Abu. Here's our route. Here's our SID. Here's where we are. You can tell I've been here before. Nose to the left, and then a right. Hopefully that all works out.
Hello?
The SID itself
Good evening.
on runway 20. I wasn't able to taxi before, guys. It's just basically a little bit of a right turn to ADSET and going over to Guppet and LNAV, BNAV. For the arrival, LREV arrival,
Welcome on
it's going to
board.
take us up to Abaku. We'll do this, and then we'll pick up the RNAV Foxtrot, which is Abaku, into the mountainous terrain approach, and let's try that out. Okay. Here's our takeoff data. Here's formatted. Here's I like it better. If you look at it, there it is, all there. Raw output formatted's like this. That's thinking about it. But there we are. So they came up with 54, and GSX just queued. Yeah, GSS just quit on us. That's okay. Same problem as last time. 54, 44, 46, and 54. There we go. And index. Yeah, this is a little glitchy, guys. 37 foot. Yeah, it's okay. Really not important. 52. So we're going to put in 52 here. Okay, Amanda, can you get us clearance, please? 51.
can't handle that unless you hand over the comms to me.
Okay, Amanda, you have the comms. Could you get us clearance, please?
I'll get our clearance from Christchurch. Christchurch info, New Zealand 123. We would like to obtain our IFR clearance.
New Zealand 123, Christchurch info. Information is current, cleared to Queenstown via the ATSA 1 Quebec departure, then as filed. Departure runway 20. Initial climb 4,000. Departure on 120.9er. Squawk 4463.
Christchurch info, New Zealand 123.
4463.
Cleared to Queenstown using the
TARA.
ATSA 1 Quebec departure, then as filed. Departure runway 20. Initial climb to 4,000. Departure frequency 120.9er. Squawk 4463.
New Zealand 123, read that correct.
All right, guys, let's see where we are with GSX. I think it just may be done. Let's just prepare for pushback. It quit on us. Okay, let's go to the overhead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Air New Zealand
Finish the
flight
inspection here.
123. We're so happy to have you with us today as we prepare to fly from Christchurch to beautiful Queenstown. Please take your seats according to your boarding
Window
passes
heat's on.
and stow your hand luggage in the overhead
Hello,
bins
Captain.
or under
We are
the
ready
seat
for
in front of you.
pushback.
If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me or any
Auto.
of our friendly crew members.
On
Thank
the
you
ice.
and enjoy your flight.
And we'll turn on the fuel pumps, guys. We're going to get ready to push back here. Beacon. Amanda, could you do the departure brief, please? Get her working on that. Auto. We're on APU. They'll pull the external power.
We'll be departing from runway 20, flying the ATSA 1 Quebec departure. Initial climb altitude 4,000. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet. After takeoff, follow the SID profile with a left turn to heading 215. Climb altituding to FL 320.
Departure
Weather at
checks
departure
completed.
shows no significant weather
Bypass
expected
pin
en route.
inserted.
Engine failure below 400 feet. Continue straight and follow ATC. Above 400 feet, follow engine out SID procedure. Climb altitude 3,000 feet before turning back. Abnormalities before V1, reject takeoff. After V1, continue takeoff, handle emergency, communicate with ATC, cleared as filed. Squawk 4,463, departure frequency 120.9er. Flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. Climb altitude out at V2 plus 10 knots. Ready to go, Captain.
Looking
Okay,
gear.
thank you. Could you request pushback clearance, please? Great briefing, too. Thank you. All right, guys, so going to the
I'll
overhead.
request pushback clearance.
Seatbelt signs on, hydraulic pumps are on, fuel pumps are on, beacons on. That's what we do for pushback.
Christchurch
They'll
info,
pull
New
the
Zealand
external.
123, requesting clearance for pushback.
New Zealand 123, contact ground for pushback clearance.
Contacting ground for pushback clearance, New Zealand 123.
Nose to left. And Amanda, could you please contact ground for pushback clearance? Yeah, we've been getting this gear
I'll
message
contact ground for pushback clearance.
up here, and I'm unable to taxi. So we'll give it one more shot. GSX collapsed. So we're having our technical difficulties, but if you can't handle that, right, don't be the sim.
123, ground air New Zealand 123, requesting clearance for pushback.
This is say intentions, by the way, guys. All right, they didn't answer her. I'll try it. And Christchurch ground, Air New Zealand 123, request pushback. See if they answer. Maybe she's on the wrong frequency. Oh yeah, we're on the wrong frequency, Amanda. I'll do this here.
Sri Lankan 1123. Contact tower on 118.4. Have a good morning.
Okay, Amanda, could you please try ground one more time for pushback clearance, please?
I'll contact ground for pushback clearance again. Christchurch ground, New Zealand 123, requesting clearance for pushback.
New Zealand 123. Pushback approved. Face northwest.
There we go. We never gave up, did we, kids? Continue the pushback.
Sri Lankan
Release parking brakes in
23, contact tower on 118.4.
All
Have a
engines
good
clear.
morning. But
All
I
engines
would
clear.
like
Start
to hear
Start will,
Sri
start 1 and
Lankan
2 together.
1123,
Left and right.
contact tower on 118.4. Bye bye.
Ladies
Here,
and
guys,
gentlemen,
I'm gonna go
welcome
menu,
aboard Air New Zealand Flight 123.
traffic,
Departing
data.
from Christchurch to Queenstown. We are
I don't need
delighted
the
to have
VORs
you with
right
us
now.
today. My name
Airport.
is Alejandro, and I will be your purser for this flight.
Terrain.
Joining me in the cabin are our wonderful crew members, Sarah, James, Emily, and
2992
Leo.
is the altimeter we're
Our
going to use.
captain today is Father Time, and our first officer is Amanda. Before we take off, I would like to take a moment to go over some important safety information. First, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened.
Looks
To
like
fasten
start
your
normal,
seatbelt,
auto
insert
start.
the metal tip into the buckle until you hear a click.
The critique
To unfasten,
was a couple
simply
different
lift
things
the
that it's
buckle. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you.
that
To
the
use
the
mask,
engines
pull
aren't
it
correct for a
towards you
LEAP
to start
engine.
the
They
flow
look
of
more like
oxygen.
the
Place it over your nose
73NG. I
and
think
mouth, and secure
A330
it with the
driver said
elastic
that.
band.
I wouldn't
Remember
know.
to secure your own
I
mask
wouldn't know the
before
difference.
assisting others.
They look normal to me.
For those of you seated near the exits, please take
See
a
the trim?
moment
I'm gonna
to
bring
locate
that up
the
here.
nearest
Get that in the
emergency exit,
ballpark.
which may be behind
3.75.
you. In the unlikely event of an emergency, swim vests are
That
located
pink
under your
there
seat.
is
To use the
3.75,
vest, pull it out, place it over your head, and pull the straps to secure it.
Please set parking
Inflate the
brakes.
and that's a
vest by
repeat
pulling the
off
red
here.
tabs or by blowing into the tubes. We expect our flight time to be approximately 43 minutes. Thank you for
Waiting
your
your
attention.
confirmation
Please
for a
sit
good
back,
engine start.
relax, and enjoy the flight.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Yeah, definitely getting the lag here, guys. There it is. Landing gear system malfunction. It's when they, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is going to work. Bummer. Absolute bummer. Okay, well, it's going to be it for today for me. For taxi, flaps 5, please. We'll give it a shot. Recall. Complete. Auto brakes, RTO. Flight controls, ground equipment, APU. Very discouraging.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
I'm going to come up here and go systems,
Left is clear, right is clear.
flight controls, check the rudders, check the elevators, check the ailerons and spoilers. Okay. That looks good. Is that everything else is good? I just want to look at the gear here. Closed. Okay. Looks like they're out there. Flash the nose light. Anything like that. There we go. Back to nav display here. And checklist. If we come back to the checklist for normals, that's a pre-flight. item override, checklist override. Checklist override, already did all that. And checklist complete for takeoff. Okay, it's good. Come back up here. Everything is set. Nav display for them. And we've got the altimeters, everything set. Okay. Okay, Amanda, could you call for taxi, please? A progressive taxi. I have very little faith it's going to work, guys. This is exactly what happened last time. And
I'll request taxi clearance with progressive taxi.
there's the signs. We'll wait for her to call.
Christchurch Ground, New Zealand 123, ready to taxi, requesting progressive taxi instructions. We have information, Sierra.
New Zealand 123, taxi to runway 20 via Echo Alpha Alpha 2. Progressive taxi instructions will be provided.
Echo.
Runway 20 via Echo Alpha Alpha 2, awaiting further instructions. New
Alpha 2.
Zealand 123.
All right, guys, here we go. You can tell by my voice. 13,000 transition altitude. 3,000 for min sector for engine out. If we're coming back around, we'll clean it up at 800 feet above the ground, which is about 860. Get it cleaned up in VNAV. Climb to 3,000. Come back in here and do the ILS and land. Any questions? No questions. Okay, guys. Well, right now the nose wheel steering's working, but I was unable to make the turn up here. So it all went right about as it's doing right now, up until as I made the right-hand turn. We'll see. Weights, winds, and temperatures check. We'll say that it came in. We're below our planned takeoff weight, below our assumed takeoff weight. Winds are a headwind, and temperature, well, we had a 54 or something assumed temperature out there is like 18 or 20. So we're not doing a max power, so it's not a big deal. Might as well get last look here. Let's hope this big boy does its turn. Gonna taxi way out here and take off on runway 20. Yeah, gonna come back in to steer it. Landing gear system malfunction. See that? That's bad. Aircraft malfunction. Anybody who knows what's causing that, just let me know. I'm going to see if I can make this turn. In the meantime, I'm going to keep my airspeed up here. See if I can get it turning. I'll be so happy if I make this turn. Nope. Nope, it's not turning. Yep, let me cycle the parking brakes. And I've got the inboard engine out. This is so discouraging. There we go. Full left engine. We'll see how that works. Let's cycle the parking brakes. Hey, you're not going to believe this. My rudders are reversed. Now that's a first. Let me see. So I want to go right? I'm going to put in left rudder. Oh my God. Yeah, they're reversed. My axes are reversed. That does not make any sense at all. Okay, so there's right as left rather. Yeah, the reverse. Let's stop it. That does not make any sense at all. Let me bring you along for this joy ride, right? I'm going to go escape. Settings. Okay. Controls. Hostas 1. Bonded. Nose wheel steering axis. Set inverted axis. Let's try that. Shouldn't be that. I don't know. I hate to do that. Let's try that. Now The engines don't want to work. Okay, that's good. I've got my throttles all the way up, guys. So, yeah.
Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo, proceed to the maintenance area via taxiway hotel contact ground on 121.9.
Come back in here.
Via hotel contacting ground on 121.9.
Yeah, my throttles. Look at this.
Alpha Bravo.
Now my throttles aren't working. My Boeing yoke isn't working. You know, let's keep you along for the ride here, because that's what we do, right? So we're gonna set our brakes, and let me see if I lost my setting for my yoke. Controls. Boeing yokes there. Save. Resume. Landing gear system malfunction. I think it's going just super duper. Now it's going. I'm going to try it now. I'm going to go left. Yeah. It is inverted axes. That should not be. Nope. Now it's not working at all. Now it's in reversed again. Why bother, guys? Why bother? Let's go right. We went right and it went left. So it changed its mind on us.
Falcon 762.
Alright, so I'm going to go to the left. You ready? I'm pushing my left pedal. There it goes. Put my right pedal. Left. Right. That's with the inverted axis. Right. Nope. Go left. Nope. Right. Nothing.
Cessna 908 Charlie Echo taxi to holding
Okay.
point Bravo Tree via
See
taxiway
this.
Lima and Papa. Taxiing to holding point Bravo Tree via Lima and Papa.
I'm just going to try to see if I can't get us airborne here, guys. I'm not going to use, it seems to be, this possibility it's fighting each other with that landing gear message. I'm just going to use pedals only. Nope. Let me just not touch the hostage stick. I think it's important that we show each other when we're struggling like this, because how do you figure it out, right? So I'm not going to touch my hostage stick. I'm going to go left, right, left, right. Those are my rotor pedals. Now I'm going to go my hostage stick. Left. That's right. That's because I set the axis to inverted. Remember? Let's just go back in here. Settings. I may edit this out. I may not. I may just take you along for the ride. Hostage stick. And axis, take off that inverted. Into the piece. Resume. Parking brakes are off. And now my throttles are not responding. Okay, so I think it's going well. I think it's going super well. Controls, Boeing yoke. Save it again. That worked last time, right? Aircraft system malfunction. Landing gear malfunction. So this is definitely a problem with the ASOBO, not my sim. Now, how dare I try this, but I'm going to try my nose wheel steering right with my hostage stick. It's going right, left, left. My rudder pedals right, right, left. Okay. We'll try it, guys. If I can get it in here, that's 5 minutes of your life you can't get back But I hope you think it was comical, because sometimes you gotta laugh at this stuff here. I almost said, you know what? Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please. Okay, Amanda, if you're still with me, can you tell them we're ready for takeoff with tower, please? Lights are on.
I'll contact tower for takeoff clearance.
Thank you. Lord knows if we're going to make this turn up here, guys.
Christchurch Tower, New Zealand, 123, holding short of runway 20, prepared for departure.
New Zealand 123, heavy Christchurch Tower, runway 20, wind 045 at 3, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 20, cleared for takeoff. New Zealand 123, heavy.
Oh my God, am I going to make the turn, guys?
Christchurch Tower, this
It's a
is
miracle.
Sky 64 request. Clearance to land.
It's a miracle.
Sky 64, Christchurch
All right, clear for
Tower, West Tower,
takeoff.
runway 20, cleared to land.
I was ready to give up on us. Finals clear.
Runway 20, clear to land.
I'd ask
Sky
Amanda if she's
64.
comfortable doing this, but I doubt she is. She's got a life. All right, 4,000 feet, 215 on the heading. We're just going to do it in nav. We'll see how it goes. LNAV, VNAV. We'll hand fly it.
Beechcraft 9001 Bravo, taxi to runway 24 via taxiway Alpha.
It's not turning.
Taxi
It's not
to
turning,
runway
so let me
24
stop
via
it.
Taxiway Alpha, Beechcraft
Go way up
9001
on
Bravo.
the right engine. See if I can get it to turn. With no nose wheel steering. I'm going to jury rig it. It's a miracle. Bring the other one up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we're gonna get airborne. Let's get out of here before something changes. Takeoff thrust is set. 80. I'm not even worried about the virus. It's the least of my worries. V1 and rotate. Pause brake gear up. Oh, 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 oh. A little laggy. I don't know what's going on, guys. Landing gear malfunction. We're going to come in here, fly to nav now. Power just came all the way back.
123, contact departure on 120.9er.
Contacting departure on 120.9er. New Zealand
That's one.
123.
Checklist incomplete, that's okay.
Christchurch departure, New Zealand 123. Good evening. Currently climbing through 1500.
New Zealand 123, heavy Christchurch departure radar contact, climb flight level 200.
Climb flight level 200. New Zealand 123, heavy.
All right, 200 is set, guys. And we can go flaps up. Low nose. Yeah, that pitch attitude's a little low for accelerating. It usually would be around 5 degrees for accelerating. All right, 13,000 is our transition. Gears up, flaps up. After takeoff checklist, please. See how well it trims up for 250 in the climb. It's a little bit squirrely. Little bit squirrely. It should be about 10 degrees here. It's doing okay. Doing okay. I'm into 20. Eventual cruising altitude is 32. It's trimmed up, hands off right now. Let me see here, which the checklist issue. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
Waco 422 Delta Echo, cleared for the visual runway 9er report, tree mile final. Cleared visual runway 9er report at tree 432 Delta
There's
Echo.
our turn of that set. But the bars were a little erratic in the real airplane. They'd be much smoother. Hey, you know what I forgot to turn on, guys? My HUD. 777 doesn't have a HUD. But I flew the 73, that had one. Let me see here.
New Zealand 123, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270, New Zealand 123.
27 set. 27, okay, we're out of 10, we can accelerate.
Dear guests,
See that pitch? We would normally accelerate right about here. That's having us low it a little bit too
Feel
much.
free to connect to our onboard Wi-Fi service
All right,
as well.
that's
Thank you for your attention and enjoy the flight.
lights out. Can ding-a-ling them. All right. Probably could do this just looking at the HUD, right? Yeah, those bars are a little bit, we wouldn't lower our nose that much, generally. So as far as one guy who asked me, are these engines like the NG instead of the LEAP? I don't know. Do you know that's kind of a low pitch setting? Usually be right about in there to accelerate. But hey, that's minor stuff. Minor stuff, keep trimming those forward. They do have auto trim on the 78 and 777, but really to stay ahead of it, if you're hand flying, you're basically staying ahead of it quite a bit.
New Zealand 123, contact Christchurch info on 121.25.
Contact Christchurch info on 121.25. New Zealand 123.
Yeah, it's pretty stable. Pretty stable. Let me come up here, get the range out a little bit.
Christchurch info, New Zealand 123. Climbing through flight level 140, aiming for flight level 270.
New Zealand 123, Christchurch info identified. Good evening.
That's a HUD all the way up in the lighting. Not great. There it is. That's where you want to go. That's where you are. So if you can see how sensitive this thing is. Like we think we're right in the middle of the bars right there.
New Zealand 123, Christchurch info, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, New Zealand 123.
All right, 32 is set. 32 is in the window. I'd have Amanda go over and get the 8. It's pretty short flight, guys. It's a Prague 39, 196 miles, 2039, and so 32 minutes to go. We're out of 18, but our transition was 13. On the descent back into Christchurch, I think it's 14 into Queenstown. That's the HUD view. You can see that it looks like we're exactly on. Yeah, a little bit funny when you fly with in the HUD. You'll see the guy on an ILS, and he's like hand flying it, just nailed. It looks perfect, and he's over there working because the HUD is that much more sensitive. You can see that it looks like I'm way out of the. These circles should be overlapped, but if you take a look in here, not bad, right? But let me get right down in the bars, right there. Fly it. It is very sensitive, very sensitive. You can see that it looks more dramatic. So when you're flying an ILS coming down, especially get closer, the guy flying will be really working his hands all over the place. Let's come up here. We'll get where I think they're perfect. All right, I'll get where I think it's just perfect. Right there. Yeah, it's pretty good. They used to have us fly a HUD departure in the 7.3, and we would all cheat and look at the bars down there, because if you flew as you were accelerating in big pitch changes, if you tried to fly a HUD departure, oh my goodness, you were all over the sky. It was hard. So we basically fly the PFD, cross-check the HUD. Now on the ILS, as you were getting down closer, there's our turn point. As you're getting down closer on the ILS, you would start transitioning more to the HUD because it got hypersensitive. And like I said, it was just funny to look over there. Now on the 777-8, everyone has a HUD. There you go. Man. So this shows that we're a little bit left and inside on the HUD. You can see that shows it's dramatically different. Dramatically. So let me fly the HUD here, and we'll see how that goes. I'll really try to superimpose it. Look at the yoke when I'm doing this. It's all these little corrections. Look at the bars. Now look at the PFD. PFD's not moving, and I'm just all over the place. Naturally, it's not something you'd want to be doing with people on board. You can see how perfect it looks down on the PFD if you get the HUD. But in order to do that, I'm doing it. Now I'm going to just go just to the PFD. Look at the yoke. Back to the HUD. Nail it right here. You can see it's a lot more work. So you can see how precise the HUD is. That's all I wanted to demonstrate there. Okay, so going in here, we're going to be doing the LRUV arrival. There it is. Kazlu 16 to 17, Margo above 13. Kazlu 16 to 17.
New Zealand 123,
Margo.
expect the ELRU3 Alpha arrival for the RNAV F runway 5 into Queenstown via iBay View. Prepare to descend in roughly 15 minutes. Just say the word if you'd like to start down earlier.
Expecting LRU3 Alpha arrival for RNAV F runway 5 into Queenstown via Ibabu. Preparing to descend in about 15 minutes. We'll advise if we need to start down earlier. New Zealand 123.
How we doing on the HUD? Yeah, lower left. Here we go. So we're just checking the cross-checking the points here, and then we get Marba, and then Ulbuk above 12, Abaku between 10 and 12.
New Zealand 123, contact Christchurch Control on 129.3.
Above 12, Abaku between 10 and
Contact
12.
Christchurch Control on 129.3.
And then,
New Zealand 123.
just keep my hands off here. Naturally, we'd hand over transfer control rather than brief all the stuff and everything. You'd have the other person take the airplane while you do it. Now see how the PFD
Control,
looks like?
New Zealand,
Not too bad, right? But look
123.
at this.
Climbing through flight level 270.
See
Good
how
evening.
dramatic it looks here? Much
New Zealand
different.
123, Christchurch
So that's
Control
how
identified.
accurate
Good
this
evening.
HUD is, and this flight model is actually. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's always funny to watch the person flying all over the place, and you're looking at your PFD like just nailed. Okay, what do we got? 5,000 to go. So let's go to the next page. You got 529, 80, left pole above 8,500. Just got my hands off the controls. Left pole above 86 and 185. Goose ass Q581. Goose ass Q581 on end for the approach. Now look at that, guys. Oh, we're making the turn here. Let me get up in the HUD. I'm going to use the HUD up here. Really try to nail it. Watch the autopilot do this. Watch this. It's even working a little bit, huh? See how smooth the yoke is? It's beautiful. Much better than me. Okay, what's the minimums on this thing? It is 4,100 with a field touchdown zone elevation of 1171. So that's 3,000 feet. That's basically a VFR arrival. 4,100 minimums. I better do the level off here. Let me do it with the autopilot off, just to show you I can do it.
Alaska 709, clear direct to
3231.
waypoint Bravo Romeo India.
32.
Clear direct to Bravo
Now,
Romeo India.
it should be about, at this airspeed, about 1 degree nose high. We'll see how it does. Trimming it up. Yeah, so that flight model's accurate. Guys would give me a hard time about calling this a great airplane. You know, I mean, I'm new to flight simming, but I remember 2020 with the airlines. Okay, we're leveled off. That's enough of that pilot stuff. The autopilot was on there. That's why. That was bad. Okay. I think this thing flies
Ladies and
just
gentlemen,
fine.
we have reached our cruising
That was
altitude,
funny.
and I'm delighted to inform you that we will now begin our snack and drink service. We have some delicious options available, including our famous kiwi fruit salad and a selection of gourmet sandwiches that I think you'll really enjoy. After the service, we will also have articles from the Air New Zealand shop available for you to browse. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
All right, guys. So yeah, my autopilot disconnect button doesn't work. So it actually, I was telling you how I was leveling off. There's the autopilot. Attaboy, Jeff. Am I even going to publish this? It's so quirky, but that's part of the charm, right? All right, what did I say? 4,100. Easy for me to do, huh? $4,100. All right, then the arrival, we did all that, and then the missed approach is basically here. But we can do a VFR missed approach too. Approach. It's called a circuit procedure, and basically you fly up and you go around this hill, then around that hill, back for the visual. Yikes! If we have to do the missed approach that's in the box, it's track to 523, then fly up this valley, way over here to LVOX and hold, then turn around and come back to it again. Let's not do that. The airport, short runway 5, 5,800 feet, but take a look at it with the displaced threshold. It says for takeoff 6,000. For landing, it's less. You can do landing data. Okay, I wonder if this is top of descents in 4 minutes. I wonder if the EFB has a landing data. I just don't know. Where did it go? It gave up on me. Says I'm not taking that kind of abuse. Yeah, the EFB's been a little bit slow today. All right, if they give us the send via the arrival, we're going down to, I think it's 10,000. That's the missed approach. Yeah, it's 10,000 at Babu. If they descend us for the whole approach, we can set in 4,100. And Amanda, can you tell me we'd like clearance to descend to 4,100 via the RNAV Foxtrot to runway 5? Here we go, guys. We'll see how it goes. See what they say.
Requesting descent to 4100 feet via the RNAV to runway 5.
Thank you.
Christchurch Control, New Zealand, 123, requesting descent to 4100 feet via the RNAV approach for runway 5.
New Zealand 123, descend via Elru 3 Alpha for the RNAV runway 5 approach into Queenstown via Ibabu QNH 1013.
Descend via Elru 3 Alpha for the RNAV runway 5 approach via Ibabu, QNH 1013, New Zealand 123.
All right, guys, I'm going to say that's 4100. I confirmed that, but there's 4,100, and you can see 4,100's in the window. Now another guy that's been helping, and believe me, if you're listening to me, we had a kind of going back and forth about this. I think it's a good airplane. You said it's kind of an abrupt descent, and I'm going to check that. I really didn't notice that, but I'm just going to check it on this one. Let's do the descent checklist. We call auto brakes 3. Let's go 4. Let's have a little fun. Landing data and approach briefing did. Altimeter is going to be 2992, so we'll just set that 2992. Okay, here comes the descent. Pretty smooth. That's a very smooth descent, so I'm not seeing it just yet. You know, not bad. It's a little bit high, but that's okay. It's a little bit above. You can help it. You can pop a little speed brake.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now left our
And when
closing
it gets
altitude
back
and
down
have
on
started our
there,
approach to Queenstown. Please return to your seats and ensure that your seat belts are securely fastened. I must
Here it
also
comes.
inform you that the use
United
of lavatories is no
771
longer
contact
permitted at
approach
this
on
time. Thank you for your
126.45.
cooperation.
and there it is.
126.45 United 771.
Looking here. I mean, if you know, this is a stock airplane on Microsoft Flight Simulator, so why would we think that it was going to be perfect? But it's pretty darn good. I remember I was working on the TFDi project, and they were getting the flight model down to where it was doing these en route descents, these stars perfectly, SIDS perfectly, thrust settings were coming in, pitch settings were right, and I remember reading that guy wanted his money back because the APU exhaust wasn't simulated properly. Can't make this stuff up. I mean, we are so fortunate. There we are. We're finally in path, and we're coming on down. This is the missed approach, that blue writing out there. That's a write-up I was reading. A 2-engine airplane, right? But you got one contrail coming out of the tail, so that's a write-up that's going to be fixed next thing. It's showing it was actually coming out of here. Yet the jet blast is simulated on both sides, but the contrail is a single
1123,
contrail.
contact Christchurch info on 122.2.
It's for us. I think they just told us to. Is that for us? I thought he said 123.2. Maybe not. I'm going to just make sure we're on the right frig. Amanda, could you ask him confirm that we are clear to 4,100 feet? That's just so that, guys, I know I'm getting.
I'll confirm our clearance to 4100 feet.
I want to make sure we're on the right frequency.
Christchurch Control, New Zealand 123, confirming clearance to descend to 4100 feet using the RNAV approach for runway 5.
New Zealand 123, descend altitude 4100 feet via the RNAV approach for runway 5, cleared as requested.
Descend to 4100 feet via the RNAV approach for runway 5, cleared as requested. New Zealand 123.
New Zealand 123, descend altitude 4100 via the RNAV approach for runway 5, cleared as requested.
All right, so we got that.
Descend to 4100 via the RNAV approach for runway 5, cleared as requested. New Zealand 123.
So it's doing a good job, guys. It's
New Zealand
on the
123, descend
VTI.
4100 via the RNAV approach for runway 5, cleared as requested.
Descend 4100 via the RNAV approach for runway 5, cleared as requested. New Zealand 123.
I wonder if it's because we're not on the right frequency or what.
New Zealand 123, contact Christchurch info on 122.2, yeah.
Contact Christchurch info on 122.2. New Zealand 123. Christchurch info, New Zealand 123. Descending through flight level 240 for 4,000. Good evening.
New Zealand 123, Christchurch info identified. Good evening.
Kind of pretty, huh, guys? Let's take a look around. That drone's not easy to handle. I mean, stock aircraft. Guys, when Microsoft 2020 came out, I just remember the 7.4 and the Captain Sim airplanes, and it was really the fly-by-wire that changed everything, and along came things like the Phoenix and the PMDGs of the world, just to name a few. It was just, we got spoiled. We're spoiled now. Holy cow. Aircraft system, landing gear malfunction. So I would guess we're going to have trouble after landing. That's okay. We'll try to find our way to the gate somehow. We can speed intervene at any time. I prefer to be a little slower normally coming through here. There are not any airspeeds on the arrival that we have to worry about until after Baku. When we get onto the RNAV Foxtrot, it does have a max speed of 185 right there. We'll probably be a little slower to make these turns. It's interesting, these are flybys. That's a fly over. Fly by, so it should be turning inside. If it ever overshot that, yikes, we got to be ready for that. So that there's really, this is pretty much a VFR approach, as I mentioned, because the field elevation is 1100 and the minimums, category D, by the way, is not authorized. So the minimums are 4100. There's that circuit procedure that we're talking about right there. Fly around, just stay in the valley, a couple of big loops. You could do that in an LNAV. See how it goes. Hopefully I don't have to do it. I'm going to come to the overhead and kind of start getting things set up. Make PA to the people, seatbelt sign. Turn on all the lights so everyone can see us. We don't scare anyone. Even throw some logo lights on. I don't know why. Looks good. Descent checks complete.
Climb and maintain flight level 410.
I think the transition I said was 15. Transition level is 15. it's saying standard. I think there's a way you can set, I wonder if you can do that on this thing. Descent. Used to be you could set a transition level here. Oh, it's under forecast. And you put in 15. Like that. And the standard went away. How's that? See, that had a amber, now it knows it's 15. I forgot to put that in. That's always a good thing to do. It usually does that automatically on the real airplanes. Yeah, so these are definitely showing as flybys. That's why we turned inside. That's a good sign. Naturally, the missed approach point is a flyover, and it's going to be a right-hand turn in there. Hopefully, we'll pick up the runway somewhere before that. I never went over the flaps. We'll go brakes 4, and I'll do approach. Naturally, flaps 30. I'll fly a 147 on the approach speed. I'm not checking the weather, guys. I'm not doing the ADA stuff, and the reason is I forced it to this runway. So here it is, 180 at 13. We really should be on going the other way. 5, runway 23. But I wanted to land on 5 because it's a more difficult approach. I really want to test this airplane out. All right, right on the VTI FMC message. It's probably asking for more drag. It's trying to slow down, so let me bring the speed brakes out. And speed below 260, we can get flaps to 1. So that's, yeah, flaps 1. It's 260. Here it comes. Flaps 1. VTI is centered. And I'm going to speed intervene here. Do not want to be fast. So I got LNAV, VNAV, speed intervene,
approach.
and I'll do 210.
Velocity 161, contact Queenstown approach on 125.75.
125.75. Velocity 161.
Spoilers coming down. We're probably going to be okay with the spoilers. I just got another one of those gear messages, so that's not good. Let's see if that gets it on. Speed brakes are armed. Brakes are armed.
Report altitude passing. Frontier 887 passing through flight level 260.
It's the ultimate test for me, bringing this thing in here. Aircraft system malfunction. All right, so our expectations are low for taxiing.
Crisis information, Juliet Lima, requesting the current wind conditions at flight level 130.
Juliet Lima, wind conditions at flight level 130 are not available. Please refer to onboard systems or meteorological sources for detailed wind information.
LEPO at 185. We're still on the arrival here, doing 210. Definitely don't want to be fast.
New Zealand 123, Christchurch info, contact Queenstown approach on 125.75.
Contact Queenstown approach on 125.75. New Zealand 123.
I noticed that the frequencies aren't changing on here, but she's getting contact, so that's interesting, unless it's on her
Queenstown
side.
approach New Zealand 123.
Oh yeah, it's on her side.
Descending through flight level 140 down to 4,000.
It's not being echoed over here, repeated.
New Zealand 123, heavy Queenstown approach identified. Good evening.
Interesting.
Juliet Lima, VFR altitudes.
Wish I got a little brighter on the HUD, guys. I've got my HUD lighting
1289 cleared visual
all the way up.
36 right. Maintain 190 or greater till advised.
What does that say? Pull manual. Can't do it.
Maintaining 190 or greater, American 1289er.
Yeah. Can't see. I'm sure it's perfectly bright at night. How we doing on the VTI? Right on. 210s are airspeed below 15 altimeters. It's 2992 is what they're using. We're using.
Sierra Bravo, Roger. Descend flight
I'm gonna get that airspeed coming back, guys.
Further assistance is needed.
All right, so we can go to flaps 5 below 250. There we go.
Queenstown approach,
Guys.
Highway 6429 with information Tango.
You can go all the way to flaps 10. Definitely don't want to be hot.
300 feet,
Making this turn here.
descending 10,000.
Here's the turn.
49, Queenstown approach identified.
Flight
Good
attendants
morning.
prepare for landing.
Cessna 0 Sierra Bravo radar contact. Maintain current heading.
Take it, our distance from the
Continue
field,
to Auckland, NZIA.
21 miles. Flaps 15.
QNHS 43, contact Christchurch info on 122.2.
Queenstown approach New Zealand 605. Queenstown approach New Zealand 605. Verifying call sign correction.
I'm going to get the heading slewed around
Verify call
for
sign,
runway 5. It's important to know where the flight director switches are here, guys.
New Zealand 123.
Right here.
Queenstown approach, proceed direct Leto. Cleared for the
Sierra
RNAV
Bravo.
runway.
Contact Christchurch info
Speed
on
below
122.2.
185 knots until established.
Direct Leto. Cleared RNAV runway 5 approach.
Ladies
Speed
and
below
gentlemen,
185
we are
knots
now
until
on our final
established.
approach
New
into
Zealand
Queenstown.
123.
Please turn off
Heavy.
all
Alright guys,
electronic
that's where we're
devices
going.
and
Left
stop
O,
away until we have
going to
arrived at the gate.
185.
Kindly ensure your tray tables are
We
put
set
away,
or below.
your seats are in their full upright position, and your seat belts are
Yeah, just my
securely
experience, guys, is
Once
you
we
definitely
land,
don't want to
our
be
Air
hot
New Zealand staff will
on
provide
these
you with information regarding
RNAV
your connecting
approaches.
flights. Thank you for your
16 miles to go. You can see that if we look here, we're going to come out and the runway is going to be off to our right as we make our way around that bend. Here we come. It'll be off to our right. So we should pick it out somewhere out here and be able to make the visual on in. And I'll probably take off the flight director at that point, which I mentioned is right there. And the HUD comes in handy because that pipper is where you're going to go. That's where you're putting it, and that pipper is where
New Zealand
you'll
605,
go.
Queenstown approach. Good morning, Queenstown QNH 1029er.
Queenstown approach New Zealand 653.
New Zealand 653, Queenstown approach.
All right,
Good
let's get the
afternoon,
range
QNH
down a little bit.
1010.
It's up around this bend up here, guys. Yeah, the missed approach is up. You need to go around that mountain, then around this mountain. That's that circuit that they use. It's beautiful. Hopefully we don't have to do it because I got things to do. Yeah, so we're going to come up here, and I think it's up in this area.
New Zealand 605, Queenstown approach. Proceed direct Lempo. Descend and maintain 8,000 until established.
Landing gear
Cleared for
malfunction.
the RNAV runway 5
Okay.
approach. Speed below 185 knots until established.
See how this is going to work out.
Queenstown
Yeah, so
approach
it's
New
supposed to
Zealand
turn around at the end of the
605,
runway.
Queenstown approach, Air New
I
Zealand
doubt that's going to
605,
happen, guys. So I'll
call sign correction.
probably,
We are Air New Zealand 605, not Speedbird 456.
I'll probably just have to stop.
New Zealand 605, Air New Zealand 605, Queenstown approach, roger.
All right, gear down.
Queenstown approach, Air New Zealand 810, hello.
New Zealand 810, Queenstown approach identified. Good afternoon, Queenstown
25.
QH 1015.
Queenstown approach, New Zealand 605. I'll be clear to descend onto the RNAV approach.
Sri Lankan 1123. Let's get you back on course. Descend and maintain altitude. 8,000 turn left, heading 150 vectors for the RNAV runway 23 approach. New Zealand 123, contact Queenstown Tower on 118.1.
Amanda, contact tower 118.1.
New Zealand 123, heavy Queenstown Tower, wind 205 at 11, runway 5, cleared to land.
All right, clear to land, guys.
5, clear to land. New Zealand 123, heavy.
All right, copy, clear to land. Speed 147. I'm going to leave 4,100 feet in here for now.
Skylane 422 Alpha Mike, cleared to land runway 21.
Cleared to land runway 21, Skylane 422 Alpha Mike.
Autopilot's coming off.
Warrior Tree 7, 1 Bravo, Charlie, make right traffic, runway
Flight
29,
director's
report
off.
midfield.
Making right traffic will report midfield Warrior Tree 7,
Autopilot's
1
off.
Bravo, Charlie.
You see the field out here, guys. So the Pipper is where we're going. You can see they leave you pretty high.
Diamond Tree 7, 1 Bravo, Charlie, cleared to land runway 27, caution birds on final.
Cleared to land
There's the
runway
runway.
27, Diamond Tree 7, 1 Bravo, Charlie.
Cleared to land.
Approaching minimums. 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 2,500.
Yeah, we were right on the VTI. It definitely leaves you in high. They want you to get a sight of that runway nice and early. Hopefully we'll roll out with red over white. Spoilers are on. Before landing checklist is complete. Let's get a nice landing. We'll see how the taxi goes. Not much faith. Not much faith. Because we got to pull a 180 on the taxiway, so forget it. Get it down, reverse, see if I have any directional control at all. 2 in reverse. Coming out of reverse, 60 knots. We're out of reverse. And we'll see if we can turn around. We'll give it a shot. We can't take that taxiway over there. It's too narrow. So we kind of have to go to the end and try to turn around.
New Zealand 123, welcome to Queenstown. Taxi to parking at your discretion and monitor this frequency.
Flaps up after landing. We'll leave our
Taxi
lights
to
on.
parking at our discretion, monitoring this frequency. New Zealand 123.
Well, give it a shot, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Queenstown International Airport. What a landing it was, eh? The captain really knows how to bring us down smoothly. You can thank him for that. Queenstown is known as the adventure capital of the world, so if you're looking for some excitement, you're in the right place. The weather here is quite pleasant, with a temperature of
I'm going
17
to turn around right
degrees
here.
Celsius and no clouds in sight.
I'm going to bring the number. Oh, it's not turning, guys.
Until we reach our final parking position.
Let me try
On
it.
behalf of Captain Father Time, First Officer Amanda, and the entire crew, thank you for flying.
I'm going to go
with Air
max
New Zealand
power
today.
on the
We
outboard
hope you enjoy
engine.
your time in Queenstown.
Give it a shot. We'll just take what we get here, okay? Because I have no nose wheel steering. Naturally, just get tugged in. Max power on the left, right engine. Dirty up the airplane just a tiny bit. There we go. Hello. Yeah, we have no steering at all. Okay, well, that's a simism. That has nothing to do with this airplane. That's definitely an ASOBO issue. All right, flaps up after landing, please. Lower overhead. Truth is, I'd leave my lights on generally until I cleared the runway. Is kind of the prevailing wisdom with this stuff. We'll go up here and try to park. You can go straight anyway. Notice I didn't give you an outside view.
Citation 433 Mike
For that
Whiskey,
taxi.
maintain current heading, expect further instructions in approximately 5 minutes.
Maintaining current heading, awaiting further
Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll timestamp it. Let me see how long we're going to be along. I can't even read the thing here, how far this is. For whatever reason, my OBS doesn't have it on here, how long this video has been so far. But yeah, I'll timestamp it and put it up there. It gives you a good idea. This was a fun approach. Enjoyed myself. See if we can get ourselves in here and just park before we hurt ourselves, right? So let me try something here. I'm going to try the second taxiway, since there seems to be someone over here. See if I can turn it. Nope. Let me go. Stop it. If nothing else, guys, I'm persistent, right? And we'll just come in here and park so we can at least complete the
Queenstown Tower, New
complete the
Zealand
flight.
605, morning. We're descending through 1500.
New Zealand 605, Queenstown Tower, wind 035 at 4, runway 23 clear to land.
I don't think we have the wingtip clearance on that fella, so we'll just park it somewhere in here.
TDM 925, you're leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
I'm sure they'll be just hunky-dory about that. All right, so what's my impression of this airplane? We'll bring it all the way in. Try to get out of the taxiway if we can. Okay, brakes are parked. Seatbelt sign is off. APU's running. Come down. All sorts of lag now, guys, and we'll chop them. Been a rough day at the neighborhood. Definitely a rough day. Go back to the overhead. We're going to go hydraulic pumps off. Fuel pumps off. Beacon nav. Beacon's off. Nav's on. Everything else is off. Emergency lights are off. REUs are off. And it's good. I'll see if we can get GSX going here. Press deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Alright, yeah, Cody, whatever. Nothing worked out. Let's go outside. Let's fly around.
Skylane 422
Say goodbye
Alpha Mike, make left traffic runway
from
26
Queenstown.
cleared for takeoff.
You got to admit, though, that was
cleared for takeoff.
that
runway
was cool.
26, Skylane 422 Alpha
That
Mike.
was cool, wasn't it? There's a scenery pack that goes with the Indy Bills, which I had in 2020. That's quite spectacular. But that was pretty darn neat. All right, guys. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, going over there, join my Discord. Really appreciate you. That's it. Father Time's Out. Wasn't perfect, but hey, that's what the sim is. Okay, see you guys. Appreciate you.